Well, ladies and gentlemen, so welcome to our Planets Through Ascendant series, and today we're going to be covering Moon in the 8th house in the sign of Scorpio for Aries Ascendant people, and what happens when Moon is in the 8th house in the sign of Scorpio for Scorpio Ascendant. And as always, if you do not know, if you have this Moon, what sign it's in, what nakshatra it's in, all the other astrological details, for that check out the links here. Check out my full astrological report, including my books, Astrology Conjunction Aspects, and Mahadashas at the Speed of Light, including all my consultations at this link. So, Moon in the 8th house for Aries Ascendant people. So, Moon, as you know, represents the mind, represents the nourishment, the mother. You know, it represents the environment around you. One thing we understand with this Moon is that you can't judge how a person's relationship will be with their mother, because Moon rules the 4th house, right, of the mother with the sign of Cancer, comforts, home. Because here's the thing, this particular Moon can be very intense for a person. A person can become like a military general. A person can become a scientist, a surgeon, an investigator, because the mind is always towards the 8th house. This can also mean the same for your mother. Your mother was probably in these professions. But to see the relationship with the mother, if you were to see Moon in the 8th house for Aries Ascendant people and say you have the worst relationship with the mother, you can fail. Most of the time you can fail, because obviously the relationship with any family member is not really seen from the condition of the planet, but it's seen from the Ashtak Varga, the mathematical score given in a chart, certain places away from that planet. So like 4th from the Moon will represent the mother, the relationship with the mother. Moon right now is just representing your mind. And especially the impact on Moon, the benefic aspect, the malefic aspect, the neutral aspect, will always carry a strong influence. Then the other thing you have to look out with the Moon, and this is something that I have to say for pretty much the entire Moon series, is that if your Moon is waning versus waxing will hold a major difference. Like a waxing Moon, okay, with this particular placement. So let's say if Sun was before the degrees of the Moon, anywhere before, or just pretty much mathematically Moon was waxing, this particular person will find the most benefic, most positive, most optimistic influence through seeing the harsh reality of life. They will be motivated to get out of that place. They'll be motivated to, improve their conditions of life by seeing the harsh reality. They will learn lessons. Where a waning Moon, when they deal with some things, they go deeper into those things. If one saw murder in the street, that can give them PTSD. Where a person if saw murder on the street, they'll be like, yep, this is the harsh reality of life, and I've got to get out of this place so I can be in a better situation. That's a big difference with the Moon. We gotta look at many things when we're judging the Moon. Moon is not so easily judged by its placement. If I was to tell you this and this Moon, it's not going to give that same result. But one thing we do see with the Moon, that a person has this idea about leaving legacy. Now you can leave legacy by 2 ways. One, you can go out and create a temple, create a multi-billion-dollar organization, become a class 1 athlete out there to influence people. Or you can go out there and shoot a classroom, shoot your office building, kill everybody to create a legacy. So Moon in the 8th house always wants to leave a legacy, because one is afraid, oh my God, death is really near me. Death is next to me. I'm going to die soon. I'm going to die soon. They have this like mental gymnastics they play in their head. So what happens when you're feeling like, okay, I'm going to die any moment? You feel like, I want to be remembered. What do I do now to be remembered? I don't want to just die in vain. My life shouldn't just be a quiet symphony. It needs to be like a rock band. It needs to be going, I want to go out like rock star style. Okay, so I'll create something big, something positive. or I can actually become famous by killing a bunch of people. That's the thing you have to look at. Waning and waxing moon in any house becomes the most important anchor. The other thing we obviously see is that a person will do much better in foreign places, foreign lands than their own homeland. Because now we're looking at the fourth lord being in the 8th house. Fourth lord being in the 8th house shows that a person will be transformed when they go to a distant place. Because especially for such people, homeland never seems to work out. They do not do well in homeland unless, of course, Jupiter has aspect on the moon. If Jupiter aspects the moon, or aspects the 4th house, yes, one can get benefic results. And anytime Jupiter aspects, the 4th house, most of the time will aspect the moon as well, unless, of course, Jupiter is in the 10th house. But there has to be a benefic aspect upon the moon, either of Jupiter, Venus, for a person to maybe do well by finding hidden resources from the ground. So if, let's say, your moon is in the 8th house in Scorpio, you could be a multi-billionaire oil executive in India, or you can even sell, mustard seed oil, crude oil, olive oil. You can be a very good surgeon, pharmacist, or an investigator. Again, it all depends upon your 5th house, the condition of the 10th house, but here the mind, the moon, also is controlling your peace of mind within the home. So this is why this particular placement of the moon can really show that a peace of mind will not come from the birthplace of the person. It'll come when they go away. Person will also get into drinking. One will love to drink, experiment with drugs, especially when moon is fully active, let's say in its dasha. Moon has a major planet going through it, Mars going through it, Jupiter going through it, Saturn going through it. It'll affect the moon in a way where things related to addiction will play out. Because remember, here now Jupiter goes over moon, Jupiter rules the 12th house of escape and addiction. So of course it's going to affect the moon as well. Not every Jupiter transit from the moon or over the moon is going to be great, at least in terms of our societal views. Maybe this person will find God by experiencing DMT with moon going over Jupiter in the 8th house. Jupiter going over the moon in the 8th house can actually save your mother's life. Mother has to get a surgery and Jupiter is going over moon, and Jupiter can save your mother's or transform your mother's life to a better situation. Usually also the one great thing is this, whether you believe it or not, if a person dies with Jupiter going over moon or Jupiter moon period being activated, you go to a better place than Earth. You'll be like, oh my God, I'm going to somewhere better. Your soul will automatically know. So there's, of course, this positivity there if you believe, in certain things like occult and mysticism. Because why does occult and mysticism exist? It doesn't exist with this mythological story for fun and games. No, those mythological stories are the real stories. There is another world of gods. There is another world where all these things have taken place. They're all on Earth, just far, far away. You going to a better place doesn't necessarily mean it's somewhere else in space. No, you could be, let's say, 30,000 miles away from Earth, from this place that we know of. The other land could be 30,000 miles away, 108,000 miles away. We may not know about it. There's a lot of these conspiracies, a lot of these things that we just don't know. How big the Earth is, how deep the Earth is. You can just stay on this mandala, but in a completely different location. But anyway, that's a subject for another night and for, another situation. But this is, moon in the 8th house in a nutshell, because definitely a person will face and experience things that they may not want to see, may not want to experience. Like a person with moon in the 8th house can see apparitions and ghosts. which is against your will. Nobody wants to see ghosts and apparitions, especially at night. It's not it looks exciting in movies, but when you see it, when you experience it, you don't want to go through that. So, and obviously, yes, when a person goes through certain transits of, let's say, Saturn, they will go through a lot of psychological issues. Depression comes in. Because obviously this is the place where moon is debilitated, but this is also the place where moon rises. If you know the story of Indra through the Puranas and the Rig Veda, this is actually a very strong placement for moon to be in. It can give a great strong mind. So anyway, I hope this has helped and given some insights into moon in the 8th house in Aries for a moon in the 8th house in Scorpio for Aries ascendant people. Okay? Otherwise, we'll see you later. And if you're new to my channel, subscribe below. And if you want to get a report, books, reports, consultation, join my school, my academy. Check out the links here. Otherwise, we'll see you later. Bye-bye.